If you're more of a visual learner, check us out on YouTube where we draw out details of the PMP exam. Find us at PM Notebooks and subscribe. The link is also in the details of this podcast. This is the PMP in the Snap. Sneak in a quick lesson into your busy schedule so you can pass that exam. Let's snap in. Hello, project management pros and inspiring PMP legends. Welcome to another episode of PMP in the Snap, the podcast where we take PMBOK guide and turn it into something you actually want to read. Well, listen to. I'm Kaye B, your navigator through the stormy seas of project management jargon, and today we're diving headfirst into some key terms in the PMBOK Knowledge Areas. Now, I know what you're thinking. PMBOK terms? I'd rather go back to a procurement meeting. But stick with me because by the end of this episode, you'll be dropping phrases like critical path and risk appetite with the swagger of a seasoned PMO director. Let's do this. First up is integration management, the control center of your project. Think of it as a conductor in an orchestra, making sure that all the instruments play in harmony. One common term that comes up a lot is project charter. This is the birth certificate of your project. Without it, your project doesn't exist. It's like saying, hey world, meet my new perfect baby. Next one is project management plan, your game plan for how you tackle scope, schedule, cost, and more. It's the blueprint that keeps everyone on track. And there's also change control board. This is a group that decides if requested changes to the project should be approved. Think of them as a project's guardian of no scope creep. Speaking of scope, let's talk about scope management, where we decide what the project is and, just as importantly, what it isn't. A common key term is scope statement, your project's job description. It defines what you're delivering so there's no confusion later. Another one is work breakdown structure, WBS. Imagine taking your big project and breaking it into smaller, bite-sized chunks. The WBS ensures nothing gets missed and everything gets done. There's also scope creep, the silent killer of projects. This happens when extra tasks sneak in without proper approval, kind of like an uninvited guest at your project party. There's scope management because time is money and nobody likes missed deadlines. The first term is Gantt chart, the OG project timeline. It's like a bar graph that shows when tasks start, finish, and overlap. Next is critical path. This is the longest sequence of tasks that must be completed on time for the project to stay on schedule. If one task on the critical path gets delayed, your whole project may be in trouble. And then there's milestones. Think of these as the project's mic drop moments. Key points that signify major achievements. Let's talk money, honey. Cost management is all about balancing the books. A popular term is cost baseline, your financial roadmap. It's the budget you compare actual costs against to see if you're on track. Next is earned value management, or EVM, the fancy math of project management. It tells you how much value you've actually delivered versus how much you've spent. Another one is budget at completion, or BAC, the total budget you estimated for the project. It's like your financial finish line. On to quality management, where the motto is do it right or do it again. First up is quality metrics, the standards you set to measure if deliverables meet expectations. Think of it as your project's report card. Second is quality assurance, or QA, the proactive steps you take to make sure processes are set up to deliver quality. It's like preheating the oven before you bake. Third is quality control, or QC, the inspections and tests you run to confirm the deliverables meet the standards. If QA is a chef, QC is a food critic. Now let's talk about the stuff that gives you heartache, risk management. Three terms that come up often are 1. Risk appetite. This is how much risk your stakeholders are willing to accept. It's like asking, are we thrill seekers or are we plate safe types? 2 is risk register. Your list of potential risks, complete with descriptions, likelihoods, and action plans. It's your project's insurance policy. And there's 3, mitigation plan. Your strategy for reducing the impact of a risk if it occurs. It's like packing an umbrella because the forecast says 40% chance of rain. Next knowledge area is communication management, which is keeping everyone in the loop. Some key terms are stakeholder register. This is the list of everyone involved in or affected by the project. It's like your project's VIP list. Another one is communication plan, a roadmap for who gets what information, when, and how. No more, I wasn't copied on that email drama. And there's also feedback loop, the process of getting and using input to improve the project. It's how you keep the conversation going. And there you have it, some key terms from the PMBOK Knowledge Areas Decoded. These terms aren't just buzzwords, they're tools to help you speak the universal language of project management. Remember, the PMP exam isn't about memorizing definitions. It's about understanding how these terms work together to make projects successful. If this episode helped you clarify the PMBOK for you, please share it with your study group or your team. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips, tricks, and maybe a couple of laughs along the way for your PMP journey. Until next time, keep managing, keep thriving, and keep learning. Bye for now. Are you finding it hard to track what you need to focus on for the PMP? We got just the thing for you. Go to pmnotebooks.com and sign up to get a free PMP study planner. This planner is created to help you map out your attack on the exam so you can pass it on the first time. In addition, you'll get some bonus tips about the exam. The link is also in the podcast description.